So, this weekend I've been home, back at my mum's, and it's been a great weekend. Seeing family, seeing friends, watched the boxing, Johnny Fisher versus David Allen, crazy fight, the rematch, and got some kickboxing in with my friend, and yeah, it's been a nice weekend. But I've been reflecting. I think the fact that I'm very, very soon going to be turning 30 is getting me sentimental. And yeah, I've been reflecting because this is the house that I built my business in, you know. I've been in business now for 10 years. Well, I say that like 10 years ago I begun by having the intention to build my business in this house. I just got home, I was 19, doing a season working in Ibiza, and at the time of my life, just crazy summer. I never went to uni, so that was kind of like my uni. Got home now being 20 years old, and I remember I got home and it was winter, or it was like, you know, the colder months, and because it was after the season in Ibiza, of course. And now it was time to like start taking things seriously. I was 19 years old, 20 years old at this point, back here at the gaff, and now it was time to start taking things seriously. I was going to start PTing at the gym just down the road, but I was told I shouldn't start just yet because it's winter, should start in the new year. And I was just, you know, I was raring to go, I was raring to get at it. I knew that the PT thing would be the thing before I could take everything online, and that was like the goal. The goal was to be able to build things online and being able to be, you know, wherever I live, wherever I wanted. And yeah, this is where kind of begun, you know. And like I said, I think I'm extra sentimental right now because I'm just about to become 30 soon. And I've been back here and I've just been thinking about it, man. It's a crazy journey when you really look back, you know, after 10 years now. I remember, you know, so as I said, I got back to Dubai. I got back from Ibiza, and I knew I needed to build the business, where I knew I wanted to start taking life seriously, to be honest. And didn't know what else to do. And the thing that I chose to do was to lay on this sofa every single day and read. Every single day, I would lay on this sofa and I would have a coffee and I would read for minimum of an hour a day. I didn't know what I needed to do to build my business. I didn't know what I needed to do anything. I just knew if I'm reading, I'm going to be okay. You know, if I'm learning more, I'm using my time wisely. And I was reading in, at that time it was business stuff and then fitness stuff and health stuff and everything else. And funnily enough, that's a habit that I never stopped. It's not an hour anymore, a bit too long. It's 30 minutes a day or 25 minutes a day. But that's something that I never stopped. And actually, look, you can see all the old books here. I want to see which ones. All of these books. Compound Effect, one of the first ones. All of these, man, I was just reading. The Salt Fix, interesting one. Any more here that I can show? All these ones down here. All of the bodybuilding ones or the fitness ones down here, the bigger ones. And yeah. And then we have the desk. Every night I would be sitting here. Well, this took a little bit longer once I, you know, started to get courses and everything else. I would be sitting here with a mint tea every single night and dressing gown on. This dressing gown would be on. And I would be notepad in front of me and just learning. You know, like that was the first few years, was just learning. Around that time as well, this was a few years after like just getting back, I was, you know, going as wherever I could to learn more about fitness, bodybuilding and everything else, because that was the business at the time. going into London quite frequently to go and see people like Mike Israetel and people like that speaking at seminars and stuff, and just learning from them. I remember as well when things got a little bit bigger, this would be my office. Basically, well, my sister's room while she was in uni. The office, that desk you just saw would be there. I'd put my chair on top of it, and that would become my my standing desk. And every day I'd be here, locked in, working. Some videos you'll still see this in the background, actually. Just after I saw that, it reminded me. Locked in here, doing so many. I was doing sales calls, sitting here, like trying to sell people, right? And I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but also during this time, I did, I've made this little walk. This walk down here. This walk was the walk to the gym that I worked in. I worked in that gym for a very long time. First of all, just kind of like as an ops person, like I actually cleaned up human shit during that time. The ops person, it was like a full-on sports facility. I'd be going around setting up trampolines for trampoline thing. For some reason there was shit on the floor at some point. I had to clean it up. But that walk, and then I became a personal trainer. And that walk down there, I would do that once I was personal training, like multiple times a day, every single day. And I actually remember telling my mum this, right? I remember telling my mum, like, I'm going to make my business be online, and I'm going to be able to live wherever I want, because I don't want my experience of life to be between here and the gym every single day. I'm going to make this go online. And that was I was saying that probably now, that was a bit further ahead, maybe 9 or 8 years ago, before online fitness coaching was like a big thing. And I was saying that, I even went back to the gym as well this weekend. So it's all been a very nostalgic weekend. And now, 10 years later, right, I've stayed in the game this entire time. Every single day I've worked on this stuff. Every single day I've learned. I've invested probably near on £200,000 into myself, into this stuff. And, now my business has almost generated £1 million. My business has taken me, I can live wherever I want, of course. My business has taken me all over the world, to Dubai, to Bali. I lived in Dubai for 2 years. One of the coolest moments was when I heard my mum was going on holiday. I was in the gym. She texted me. And in between sets, I just sent her all the money for the holiday. I said, it's on me. And, basically 10 years later, I'm further ahead than I ever thought. That me getting back from Ibiza, that me that was sitting here on these calls, that me that was sitting over there doing his courses, that me that was walking down this road or sitting down there doing his reading, I am actually now further ahead than he ever thought he would be. He never thought he'd even be here. And the funny thing is, all that's been achieved, everything still feels the same. Every day there's still challenges. There are still fears. You just learn to deal with them better. There is obviously more of the good, more freedom, more money, more impact. But there's actually more of the bad as well. There's more. There's a bigger drop to fall from if you're not careful. There's bigger fears. There's more negativity that you have to go through. More discomfort that you have to feel as well. But in this reflection, it's just, it's interesting. You think, it's all just the same. It's just bigger. It's all just the same wherever you are. It's just bigger. And one of the biggest things that I realize, looking back, because nothing ever felt like it blew up. There were some cool moments, going, like leaving and starting to travel and going to Valencia, and there were some cool moments, but nothing ever felt like it blew up. There was no moment where it's like, oh my God, I've made it now, or anything. Like, it's a slow culmination, and all it is a culmination of good days. All this game is is a culmination of good days that create good weeks, that create good months, that create good years, and eventually sitting here today that create good decades. That's actually all this is. You know, there's no one big thing that makes everything change. It's just staying in the game, stringing good days together consistently, staying conscious of your business as well, staying conscious of, you know, it's very easy to just start to coast. It's very easy just to kind of coast through the days and not being aware of where you are in the business, what your reality is, where you're trying to go, and the problems that you're needing to solve. It's very easy to just become unconscious and just go through the motions. Staying in the game and staying conscious of everything that's going on. And, you know, you get to the, 10 years down the line, nothing felt like it ever blew up. But you look back and you're just so happy that you did the stuff that you needed to do every single day. And, you know, during this time as well, things went up and things went down. You know, I built my business to 6 figures. I was living in Dubai, and I then went through 2 years of very, very, very hard business. I made changes to my business that I wanted, but, you know, weren't very clever. And I went through 2 years of actually going downwards again. And you realize in a long enough time horizon, right? You realize when you stay in the game for long enough that this shit is not linear either. Things go up and things go down. And if you're putting your happiness into the future, if you're really believing that like happiness is going to be in the future, and you are putting everything off now and you're not enjoying the experience, the journey, or everything else, and you're putting yourself off into the future and you're thinking that things will be okay when I'm there, you're probably not going to stay in the game. You're probably not going to string the good days together, and you're probably going to be pretty disappointed when you get there. Or, because like I said, business isn't linear, when things start to go backwards, and things will go backwards, things will go up and go down, and then things will drop, and then you will make a huge resurgence and you'll get to a new height, and then, you know, things might fall down again, and then you get to a whole new height. You have to enjoy the fucking journey, man. So before I leave this house today, I just wanted to record that video. If you're watching this and you're, you know, earlier on in the journey, I hope you can take something from this video. This is just straight from the heart, straight from me. There's enough, you know, I just hope you can take something from this video. If you're not enjoying the days, then it's all fucking pointless, because you won't do enough of the days. You won't string the days together long enough to actually get there. But if you are enjoying the days, this is it. This is the game. You know, if you have I see business as a creative pursuit. First of all, it creates your life. Second of all, it creates you. You have to grow to get yourself to 10K, 20K. You know, you have to grow to get to these new heights. It's essential. It's a creative pursuit of that. It's a creative pursuit of your life. And it's also the creative pursuit of creating something from nothing and bringing it to the world, impacting people, changing people's lives. A really cool thing I can say now is I've actually changed hundreds of people's lives with this 10-year journey, right? I've impacted thousands, but I've probably changed hundreds of people's lives. Like, people have said that, you know? That's so fucking cool. How cool is that? Just from shit that we create, just shit that we come up with. This is the creative pursuit. So, like I said, if you're watching this, understand that the journey is the game. You know, I remember back when I was trying to come up, right? And I was under 2K, for about 3 years, I was under 2K a month for my online business. And I remember saying this to my dad. I know this is going to sound really extreme. And I wasn't saying it in an extreme way. It was just the truth. That I know I'm going to make it because I'm just going to keep trying it. I'm either going to make it or I'll die. Not because, you know, I'll kill myself doing this or anything else, like anything extreme. It's just, I'm just going to keep doing this. The only way this isn't going to work is if I die before, and then I won't even know anyway. You know, and I want to be clear. I'm not saying that in any crazy, heroic, and extreme way. It was just a quiet and simple truth of mine. I knew that this was not going to stop. This was the game. This was my life. This is what I was doing. And unless I die before, I'm just going to make it, or die trying. 50 Cent. So yeah, stay in the game. That's the one and only thing. Stay in the game. I've seen people come and go. On a long enough time horizon, everything changes. On a long enough time horizon, you become the people you're looking up to, right? If you're watching this video, this is going to sound big-headed, but there's maybe in a way you're looking up to me in a way. You might not be, but like, let's say you were. On a long enough time horizon, you will be the person you're looking up to, talking to other people, which is exactly, like, funnily enough, it's exactly what I'm now doing in this moment, right? 10 years ago, I'd have watched this video. Now I'm doing the video. On a long enough time horizon, everything changes. On a long enough time horizon, your problems become, and I really mean this, your problems become your most valued transformational experiences. Every setback, every problem, every challenge I had, I treasure. They were the moments that built me. They were the things that created me. This journey of business is the most beautiful journey of personal development. And those harder times now, after a long enough time horizon, have created me. That 2 years I spoke about, that business was really, really hard, that created my current business, because I was making mistakes and following things that I have now learned from. And I believe I now understand these things better than most people on the planet, because I went through them so horrendously and I learned on the other side, and I needed it. And on a long enough time horizon, your competitors are not your competitors anymore. It's very easy to look left and right and think about other people. On a long enough time horizon, people are going to work with many, many people. People are going to fall off, you know. On a long enough time horizon, everything changes. So wherever you are in the journey, you know, just know all the success is down to is staying in the game and stringing good days together and staying conscious of the journey and enjoying being lucky enough to have this creative pursuit, being lucky enough to have ideas, to have skills, and to be able to bring them to the world, and to be able to do that every single day and to love what you're doing. This is such a cool journey for us to be on, no matter where you're at. So I hope you enjoyed my little sentimental reflection. Stay in the game.